Last week, my wife and I had quite an experience as we traveled from Santa Barbara to Tijuana for the day to interview Ukrainian refugees. We parked on the U.S. side of the border and walked through the pedestrian border crossing and took a cab to the Benito Juarez Sports Complex, where about 20,000 Ukrainian refugees had come through during the last few weeks.
Most of the refugees, which is close to 5 million, they fled to Poland, Romania, from Moldova also, but those who have some relatives in US, a small number, compared with 5 million, they made it all the way to here. And when you hear the stories of people who travel all the way here, actually having dozens of connections, sometimes taking some people weeks to get here, you understand the ordeal they went through. So now we have a small group who actually were left behind in some way.
The people here today?
Yes, and they are very disappointed.
As it turns out, the last of the refugees were let through the Mexican border to the U.S. the night before, under a temporary program of 1-year humanitarian permits. Those now arriving were subject to the new U.S. policy. Now, refugees must apply online for temporary residency. The option for these new refugees is either to go to Mexico City and apply through the Ukrainian embassy, or return to Europe and apply from there.
And all of them are in such an uncertainty, and in the same time, we are here to cheer them up a little bit and to help them to go through this period, emotional period for them.
All right, so you guys, I'm going to hand you guys over to Lily. Женя, I have 2 helpers for you. У меня 2 помощника для тебя.
I was hoping to interview refugees, but the camp staff were concerned that people might take advantage of them as they were in a vulnerable position. We were told, though, that we could come in if we wanted to volunteer our help. So we folded and packed bedding to go to other refugee sites. We were also given a brief tour.
Over here we have the supply section, the clothing that we have that was donated for the refugees when they come if they need anything. There's everything from shampoo, conditioner, diapers for kids, clothing, blankets, towels. Up ahead is a gym where we have also many beds and showers. This is the registration. This is our kitchen. Yep. We have our coffee and tea stand here that's being put up, and our lovely ladies are always working on keeping us fed.
In the beginning, when they came, they didn't have any place to stay, so they were literally living on the streets. So the biggest need in that time was to find tents, to find sleeping bags for them to survive overnight. And the U.S. were allowing a small number to cross the border. Now later on, the custom got more organized, invited more officers to come to this place, and they started to, the U.S. started to allow more people to go through, and the process is really complicated and long. It takes about 3 hours to work only with one person, and here were hundreds and up to 1,000 people daily. And during 3 weeks, more people started to cross the border, but also we got more organized here, finding this gymnasium, this place where people were able to stay overnight, sleeping already inside here. So when we were buying in Walmart, was very interesting. Loading the trucks, people will come, will approach us and ask, "Is this for refugees, for Ukrainian refugees?" And when we will say yes, they will start giving cash. So
Really?
that
Walmart in San Diego?
in San Diego. So that was really encouraging to see how the crisis and how somebody's pain touched the hearts of so many people. So that encouraged me again to see how open are the U.S. people to help others. So not only on the governmental level, but on the individual levels. I'm from a nearby country called Moldova. Actually, next in line to be occupied by Putin. So he already 2 days ago announced that his strategy is to occupy the whole south of Ukraine and then Moldova. So we are in imminent danger, and that's why now depends on courage of Ukrainian nation to withstand, to oppose this invasion, because otherwise we will be next to be occupied. But my name is Ian Captain. I live in San Diego, so I immigrated about 17 years ago. When I left, we had a communist regime, and I personally have a conflict with the president's son. Not a direct conflict, but he wanted to take over my business. So that's why we ended up here in the U.S.
Nice.
And now I can shake his hand and say thank you, but I never forgot about my country.
Is the food Ukrainian?
The food is more universal. Today will be some Italian food. Most of them are happy that they made it to U.S. and
To almost U.S.
I'm not talking about this group of people because they are in a different situation now, because they are in uncertainty. But those who made it, they are really blessed and happy that they were able to survive and actually rescue their families. If you want to help, I can redirect that help to the new camp, which will be open very soon in Mexico City.
As a footnote, we were walking back to the border crossing when we came across this other refugee camp for Central American refugees. I've heard it asked, why have Ukrainians got through while others have had to wait? It's one of the thorny issues of fast-moving international crises. All in all, we had an eye-opening day.